Huh?
That's social meaning.
Social meaning, yes. Huh? What your girl mean to you? She don't mean to me, you know. And she means something different to she mother, to she father. Huh? Nobody, and you could even go so far as to say, nobody knows anybody, because to know somebody, we feel we know somebody because we see this picture, right? And we have information about this picture. It comes back to what I was saying about stranger. Right? It's just information backing up the picture, making a human being outside of that information. It's just a perception. That way it's called a stranger. A stranger is just a perception. If you get no
Even when they said that we create more meaning, but we do not create ontological meaning.
No. We don't create. We have the capacity or the possibility is there to be able to grasp the ontological meaning of something. Right? It's possible.
No, but I just wanted to limit that phrase that we create more meaning. But I wanted to limit it.
No. We create meaning for ourselves. We are creators.
On the social plane.
Yeah. On the social plane.
You see,
like in the final analysis, if you reverse engineer or go back to the foundation of everything, you come back to one source. You know, one of the ideas of the matrix understanding of human reality is to separate God from man and create a space that men are filling, right? And making man feel that the ignorance that he's living in is natural. It's not natural. You were indoctrinated in order to socially adapt to the environment in which you've been born. So you feel, because plenty of people seeking knowledge, that it's normal to seek knowledge. No, you've been psychologically damaged by seeking knowledge, and the knowledge you're seeking, you want to know what you are. But what you are, you already are that. You were a child. As a child, you knew that. As a child, you didn't need a fucking name to know you existed. You experienced the fact that you existed. And as sure as a child, your parents would have seen you laughing, which means happiness built into you. But in the process of social adaptation, you learn to make yourself unhappy by perceiving yourself in a distorted light. Man is a creator and creature of meaning. See that? See that statement? It's the fucking key. He's a creator and a creature of.
Slow down. Listen. You Peter and all the disciples and Paul have accepted him.
This is what I was saying. A man has two options.
When you accept Christ,
right?
there's not a void.
He aware that he is ignorant. Either you modify or find ways of refining the ignorance, right? Add more complexity to it, or you understand the anatomy of the ignorance. That first option is phantasmagory. That is chasing phantom. And hear what? If a man would honestly ask you if you know yourself, if you're honest, you will say no. So how could you deny a man when he say hell? The real you is the fucking creature, you know. There's no you without that thing. We have talked about the creator, but because our thinking has been damaged, it's not governed by principles and rules and realistic or ontologically based knowledge. Right? We accept things without really investigating or trying to understand the basis of the thing we are accepting.
That's right.
So we end up just organizing the ignorance to further and more complexity, just burning ourselves more.
Yeah.
Right? And we are sorrow as a fucking shadow.
Sometimes in the attempt to fit in and seek consensus, that can go
but if the real me is the creator, then wouldn't it not mean that everything that I do wouldn't that statement not infer that right or wrong is not a necessary construct? If
good question. I feel I understand.
And to me, this is the danger with your position. It kind of disincentivizes people
to do what they want.
A moral obligation,
not just a moral obligation, I know, but even to prosper. Because if I am my extension of the creator, then doesn't that kind of not imply that I've already reached my zenith?
No. What it means is this: the fact that you have to be told that means that you haven't arrived at that fucking zenith.
But once I arrive there,
Once you arrive there, it's a totally different ball game.
then
and you
there
can never
is nothing
conceive.
further to pursue. What could be higher than creatorship?
What can be higher than?
Creatorship.
There's nothing higher than creatorship.
Right.
But,
so if
but
I
there are higher
recognize
levels. There are
that I
higher
am in that
levels. There are
state,
higher levels of creative expression and creative knowledge. That's where the growth and development still exists.
It's to me is a dangerous statement because
It takes away a lot of boundaries that
it
you
takes
need to
away
feel comfortable.
it takes away a lot of responsibilities, not boundaries, responsibilities.
Hear what, bro? Let me tell you something. Eh? We have this idea that human nature is evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so,
You hear what I said? We have
Yeah.
this idea that
Yeah.
human nature.
We have
is
this idea
evil.
that human nature is inherently and innately evil, which is based on a man born in sin and shape in iniquity, right? And therefore he needs to be controlled. I am saying that the evil you see in man, right, is based on cultural indoctrination to a false understanding of himself and the reality within which he's operating, and therefore, because of the fear and insecurity that that understanding precipitates or brings into being, he's in survival mode. I use everybody, I sacrifice everybody on the altar of my experience. I am unhappy and my happiness had to be derived from somebody else. Anytime you reach there, those things don't exist. It's not that there's a choice open. When you're hungry, you don't study who have a good fucking meal, whether it's KFC or churches. When your stomach full, you don't study food at all. The studying of food is burdensome, it's a waste of fucking time. When you reach that state, that is the core of all of us. You don't need to choose to be socially responsible. Everything from you. You see, there's no ego there. And the ego is the source of all fucking evil and destruction. Ego. This experience of being separate from is artificial. It's the understanding that you learned as a child, and because information shapes experience, from in your childhood you learn to start the experience to start separate from it, from what you're perceiving, because the understanding you're inheriting is telling you that, and everybody's behaving that way. So you eventually learn you successfully in the past learn to create this feeling of being separate from the environment. So now it's natural, it's automatic, like when you're riding a bike, subconsciously controlled. Listen to this, eh? Check the logic of it. My mouth is only making sounds. You're hearing words. There are no written words there. Right? So there's a part of you that is actively involved in translating what I am saying, and you realize that it's not taking effort. It
I just know, but I wanted to get this fellas.
Yeah, go ahead.
Until everybody had finished talking now, but I don't want to cut through everybody.
That's no problem.